All right, well, thank you for joining me here today. I have a special guest that's going to be joining us right away here. I've got Mitch from Mystery Mansion Escape Rooms, which is located in Regina, Saskatchewan, Canada. Oh, here he is now. Hey, Mitch, glad to have you here with me today. As I understand, you were having some difficulty getting someone to help you record an interview video. Is that correct?
Yes, it was.
Oh, okay, good. Well, I'm glad to have you here with me today, and I'm gonna be going through some questions with you here. So, first question for you: how long have you been working as a GM?
Well, I've been working as a game master ever since we opened up at Mystery Mansion Escape Rooms. I was actually our first game master there, being part owner manager and first game master. That was back in 2017, so it's been about 3.5 years now.
Oh, excellent, excellent. That's quite some time there. You got that's good. That's really good. Um, with being a GM, people refer to you a lot of weird names or talk to you in some weird way. What is your code name as a GM?
Well, my code name that I generally go by is my pseudonym, and that's Mr. E. And that's the persona that I take on for those. I do also have people who like to call me Morch. Not really 100% sure why that became a thing, but that's what some people do like to call me.
Awesome, awesome. And as you're working with groups, a lot of weird things I understand happen from time to time. What would you say is the weirdest thing that's happened to you while hosting a group?
Oh, the weirdest thing. Okay, well that's it actually has nothing to do with a group in general. Our old location of Mystery Mansion Escape Rooms used to be right beside a creepy. It was in a creepy house right beside a funeral home, and so a lot of weird stuff happened, and a lot of interesting encounters happened for a lot of our game masters while we were at that location. We did also offer an experience that started at midnight and went until 3:30 in the morning, and there was one night in particular where I had a lot of um, encounters, we'll say, as the experience went on in the middle of the night. But that's a story for a different time. But all my weirdest encounters or experiences have more so to do with, we'll say, they're paranormal in nature. A lot of door slamming and stuff like that. It doesn't make me necessarily miss hosting at that other location.
Very interesting. I definitely want to hear a bit more about that, but maybe a different time. Time constraints and whatnot. Would you say that you have a favorite phrase to ask people while hosting?
A favorite phrase. Um, I wouldn't say I have a favorite phrase, but my favorite thing to do with a group or to say to groups is whenever they ask for hints, I don't. I like to give it any hints or nudges shrouded in puns or with dad jokes. I really just like the awkward silence of people not laughing at my jokes.
Ah, okay. Well, as you're hosting a group, and you're sitting there watching them, and they are doing their things, and you're making sure that everything's going smoothly. Is there something that you need to have with you while that's going on? Your must-have companion. What would it be?
Uh, huh. That's a good question. I would say that my must-have companion would probably have to be any of our spare locks. I love to fidget whenever I'm sitting there. No matter what I'm doing, I just like to fidget with my hands. I like to be moving. And a spare lock is a great object for me to be able to do that, especially directional locks. Gotta love that clickety clack.
All right, now, who would you say is your favorite customer? Just a chance for you to give them a shout out here. Who's your favorite customer?
Oh, that's a tough question. I would have to say for in person, I've got to give it to Detective Hats and his crew, mainly because I love to see how many hats they can stack on as the games progress. They know who they are. And for online, I would have to say it's any group that really gets me to do weird things, like really weird things. I love it when a group really pushes and challenges me and is really obscure and really forces me to improvise. So any of the groups that have done that for me, thank you. You guys are great.
Now, if a group asks for a hint during an experience, how would you go about giving them that hint? Do you make them do anything special, or do you just, give them a freebie?
Well, as I said before, I like to shroud my hints in puns and dad jokes, but our experience scene is probably my favorite for hint giving. In that one, we do make people do the most embarrassing things that we can think of as a task before they'll receive their hint. So, for example, something like people really don't like singing, so we make people sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star as one of our prompts for it. And we've had people that have refused and have, as a result, not gotten their hint. So that's probably my favorite thing to do with hints. Otherwise, it just kind of varies from room to room how we go about giving those hints.
All right. That sounds like a very interesting way to go about it. All right. And being an escape room host, do you play many escape rooms yourself? And if so, how many? And what would you say is your favorite escape room ever?
Okay, well, I don't get out as much as I should. I do play escape rooms. I love playing escape rooms. My total right now is probably around the 60 game mark, and all those games have been played in Saskatchewan or Alberta. I really want to get out and play more rooms in different places around the world. And I have been playing some online rooms, but I would have to say my favorite game so far that I've experienced has been Exorcist Online. I'm a huge horror movie fan, horror movie buff. I love horror movies, and Exorcist Online just made me feel like I was in a horror movie while being able to solve escape room puzzles. So like two of my favorite things melded together. So I'd have to say out of all of online and in-person rooms, just escape room experience in general, Exorcist Online, if you haven't checked it out, I definitely recommend doing so.
Oh, an online room takes the cake. How about that? Interesting. Now, final question for you here. What would you say you enjoy the most about being a GM?
That's a pretty packed question, but I can give you the long and short of it. I am an extrovert through and through. I love talking. I don't know if you can tell that at this point in time, but I absolutely love talking. And so I really just love that connection with people, being able to connect with people and interact with them through this. And that's probably one of my favorite things about the online. And I love hosting online so much because you do get to interact with groups 100% of the time, and you just get to laugh and experience everything with them. It's like you're part of their group and you get to play along in the escape room. So that's probably my favorite thing about being a game master, is just that personal connection that we get to make with people and to enjoy the time with them. That's my favorite part. So I'm really glad that the online escape rooms have become a thing, because I never would have thought this has been possible. But I love connecting with people and just having a good time with them.
Well, Mitch, thank you so much. That's all the questions that I've got here for you today. Thank you so much for spending time with me. Again, this has been Mitch from Mystery Mansion Escape Rooms in Regina, Saskatchewan, Canada. Thank you, Mitch. Take care.
Thank you very much.
It was wonderful having you here to ask you some questions.
Ciao for now.